Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a great show for you. But I want you to know this is going to be an intriguing one. It's also going to be a dangerous one and might trigger everybody in the room. So with that, Nina, welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm good to be back. Yeah, well, Trigger is my middle name, so there you go.
Oh, there you go, Nina Trigger.
Nina the Trigger, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I remember. Well, tonight we're going to be talking about some controversial things, and you may or may not like it. You may be triggered by this to turn off the show. So, if you want, keep listening, but it's going to get deep, and we're going deep. You're going to get so mad at me and everybody else around you and the world around you. So hang tight, everybody, as we get into this. What are we talking about? We're talking about something that's in our everyday life. We're going to be talking about a guy named Edward Bernays, if you've heard of him or not. And he's often called the father of public relations. Now, public relations sounds polite, like smiling and handshakes and charity dinners, of course, but it's not quite that. But what Bernays really built was something closer to a system of influence, a way to steer mass opinion without people noticing the steering wheel. And he wasn't shy about it either. In his world, you don't sell a product by saying, here's the product. That's amateur hour. And Bernays figured out something that still runs the modern world. People don't buy things. They buy what things mean. I know you're all guilty of it. So instead of selling cigarettes as tobacco, you sell them as freedom. Instead of selling a hairnet as fabric, you sell it as a safety and cleanliness device. Instead of selling soap as soap, you sell it as art. You sell it as education, childhood fun, like his famous ivory soap carving contest. And we'll get into that in a little bit. That's Bernays' number one rule. Don't sell the things, sell the identity. Rule number two is even more powerful. Borrow authority, because people don't want to research everything. They're busy. They've got kids and bills and a back that hurts for no reason. So what do? We outsource things. Hey, who's not guilty of calling up and ordering a pizza or having delivery to their house? Oh, yeah, we got all that stuff nowadays, don't we? They're going to have drones delivering things to you. Bernays understood that if your message comes from a company, people resist. But if it comes from a doctor, a civic group, or a respectable organization, now that feels like reality and not marketing. Rule number three, create news instead of buying ads. This is where Bernays was a magician. He didn't just place advertisements. He staged the press and had it cover it. He'd build a public momentum. Then the newspapers and the radio do the heavy lifting. And so you're not seeing an ad, you're seeing a story. And stories go down easier than sales pitches. And then there's the big one, the move that still works today. Use third parties so it looks independent. Oh boy, I've heard of that. Third party study. If your friend tells you something, you believe him more than a commercial. If a neutral group says, you believe it even more. Bernays didn't just sell products, he built networks of credibility around them. So here's the real takeaway. Bernays helped create a world where the public can be guided not by force, but by framing. Not what is true, but what it feels true, what feels fashionable, what is moral, and what is normal. And once you control what feels normal, you can sell almost anything, ideas, lifestyles, even politics, because people will start defending the message like it was their own. So tonight, just don't ask, do I agree with this? Ask the Bernays question. Who benefits if I believe it? And who built the story I'm living inside? Because the moment you can see the system, loses a lot of power. So that's what we're going to be talking tonight about, everyone. And it's an interesting story because we've all been duped to buying something and coming home with it and going, I didn't need this, but it's really cool. Look at, I bought this. It's really cool. Yeah, look, it's got a light on it. Paid $100 for that.
Did you really?
Yeah, I really did.
Did you pay $100 for that?
Yeah, it's got a light. It's got a laser, and then if you press the right buttons, the tip of the pen lights up. Believe it or not, and it's rechargeable. It comes in this little rechargeable case. It's an OLight, and you put it in there, and it makes really pretty colors when it's in there, and then it turns green when it's all charged up. But for only $100, you can have a pen with a light on it.
Yeah, they got you real good. I know. Hey, we're all guilty of it. Retail therapy is the thing. You know what I mean? So, and they created that slogan too. Retail therapy, because they, they sure do.
Who hasn't bought a pair of Brisker scissors because they cut better, than all the other scissors? Do they?
Yeah.
Do we have scissors? I mean, the other scissors don't cut anything? These are the only scissors that
they don't cut it.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much other stuff. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm looking around thinking, all the things I bought because somebody said, hey, this is a good, or I seen some ad and it said, all the elite people take this supplement. That's why they live so long. Well, if they take it, I want to take it too. Have you been duped before, Nina?
Oh man, we don't have to go back too far. Like, it wasn't that long ago since there was ads on TV saying that, smoking, was healthy for you and was good for you. They were encouraging pregnant women even, to smoke. Doctors do it, well, and they would have all the cigarette commercials and all. It wasn't that long ago, you know what I mean? And so over the years, we've been sort of, slamming down on this kind of stuff. But yeah, no, this definitely, a whole generation was smoking because one commercial, you know what I mean? Like, well, not just one commercial, but because a couple of people said, and I don't know, this Bernays didn't have anything to do with the smoking, but he's prior to that. But you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, it's amazing how one person with one slogan or whatever, who decided that this is a name brand, and other stuff is not, or that's better than, you know what I mean? Who decided that exactly? So.
Well, that's exactly it. Look at the picture of all these women back in the 20s with a cigarette in their mouth. Yeah. They are liberated, liberal women that can do anything. The strength and the power. Nina, you were a smoker. Did they? How did you feel when you were? Why did you start smoking? To be in with the in crowd with all these women here? I want to be with you. Give me a cigarette.
You're not too far off there. I know you're probably joking, but no, actually, growing up, everybody smoked. So parents, all my relatives, everybody smoked, and the cool kids, of course, smoked. So when I was a kid, I remember looking at them, looking at the ones, smoking and wearing a leather jacket and looking all cool. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do and wanted to be. Now I'm looking at this from the 20s. There's another thing. It wasn't just the smoking that we got duped with. Cutting our hair. That's one thing that really keeps me off, is that somebody told the women that, hey, cut your hair off, and that's cool. That's the new thing. And now all of a sudden, women have to go to the hairdresser once a week to have their hair washed and set. Yeah. I mean, this costs a lot of money. Like, a whole generation was doing that. Yeah. Luckily, that stopped with that generation. We never continued on with that. But yeah, they had beautiful long hair that had little, not much maintenance. You had to wash it, but that's about it. You put it up and that was it. Now all of a sudden we can't even do our own hair now. So like, women were duped on so many different levels. Never mind the smoking that also came at the same time. Cut your hair, start smoking. Oh, breastfeeding. Oh, that's gross. I remember my mother-in-law told me about this. No, I'm serious. When she had my ex, she said she was told that, no, we don't do that anymore. That's barbaric. That's gross. That's, animals do that. Mm-hmm. So again, duped women to give formula. to
Yeah.
not breastfeed because that just wasn't the thing then.
And
Now,
that's where
luckily,
the child does it. Well, let's just go on
yeah,
back on that a little bit. I want to ask you some questions on that
mm,
because uh, I I've heard that the child's health is compromised with
yes,
the
hmm,
formula.
you
And that
betcha.
and is it true that the mother's milk gives it all the nutrients and stuff to protect it from disease and colds and everything, right?
Yeah, before the milk actually comes in, the first thing that comes is called colostrum. And that's got all kinds of antibiotics, all the things that the baby needs. Because you gotta remember, it's fresh out of the oven here with all these germs. Yeah, it needs. And so if the mother never puts the baby to the breast, it's not getting any of that. Any of
Mm-hmm.
that. Never mind the actual milk. Did you know that every mother produces milk according to its own baby and its needs?
Really?
There's an actual
No.
communication between the baby's saliva that goes into the nipple, and the mother's body knows what the baby needs and will produce what it needs for its own child. Yeah, it's amazing what our body does, and it's really like disturbing when you find out now. We're looking back at all the lies that we were told,
Mm-hmm.
all the like it's just unbelievable. Yeah.
What I can't figure out um, is that if you got if every animal on Earth, well, not every. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back there. Sorry about that. Every
Mammals.
mammal on Earth is giving birth to a baby, and they all have to have breast milk. But
Mhm.
humans could give birth to a baby, and they don't. They need formula.
Well, back in the day, so before the formula factory came in, we had what we called a wet nurse. So
Uh,
some other woman who was lactating would then feed the baby because there was no such thing until, I don't know, this era here that we're looking at, maybe the 20s. I don't know when the formula came in. That's something you can look up, I guess. Before, yeah. So we had wet nurses, we call them. So women were actually making money going around breastfeeding other people's babies. Yeah.
wow, that's
Uh,
crazy. Did not know that.
yeah.
Interesting.
There you go.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, so Edward Bernays trying to sell ivory soap, and
Mm.
he says, hey, they couldn't sell this ivory soap, and he started a contest on using it as a carving tool, and then you could wash your hands with it, and yada yada yada. So then they made ideas like, hey, you can carve this out of this ivory soap, and then they, here you go, carve a prehistoric reindeer, and then just get it yourself a bar of ivory soap and carve it out as a reindeer. Here's the instructions, blah blah blah. Here's your tools, what you'll need. And then people went out to buy ivory soap because, hey, they wanted to carve a reindeer or on any other objects.
That makes
Contest.
you wonder how many soaps did they have? Because when you're carving something and making something, you're gonna make mistakes, right? And they're like, screw that one, I'll get another. How many bars of soap did they actually each buy? You know what I mean? In
Well,
order
yeah.
to do that.
What I mean, think of the sales that you would have for people just
Oh
carving
yeah.
soap, not even using it, just carving it. Who
Yeah.
cares if they use it or not? They're
Right.
buying it for carving.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't care what they're using it for as long as they buy it.
So
Yeah, I
here's
remember the
here's a
ivory soap. Ivory soap, well, I guess the whole thing was that it was natural and not as much, nasty stuff in it, but it didn't smell very good. It's not your go-to, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't, especially, because back then we didn't really realize how toxic everything was. We would go for something that was more better smelling, but yeah.
yeah, crazy, huh? So as you've seen there before, there was a picture of Edward Bernays as a young man and an old man. He lived a little over 100 years old, but here's his timeline. He was born in Vienna, Austria. Then he came to America as a young boy, I think at about a year old. He worked in the public works department during World War I. He was involved with the government, information, propaganda era messaging. Oh, yeah, just where he needed to be. And after the war, he and Doris Fleshman opened a PR office. First big clients included the U.S. War Department. How fitting. Uh, you know, Anyway, then he moved into the 20s. The vendetta hairnets. He framed loose hair as a public safety hazard for factories, restaurants. The resulting pressure contributes to hairnet requirements in multiple states. Now, I got to admit, having hairnets on for people with really long hair, who wants to be in a restaurant where you pull up a sandwich and you get a big long hair?
Nobody wants hair in their food. That's right. Yeah. So no, hairnet is definitely one of those inventions that's probably a good thing, right? Even if you have short hair, you don't want, it would be a surprise how much hair we shed. Apparently, we all shed about 100 hairs a day.
Wow.
That's a lot of hair. I know.
So
I know, right? But then I guess we must regrow it just as quick. I don't know. But hairnet is definitely one of those things that is a must in a restaurant, I would say.
Well, yeah. Well, and that's the thing. So he went to he publicized crystallizing public opinion. And one of the earliest attempts to define PR as a counseling role, researching publics and shaping opinion. So that was what he did in 1923. And then in 24, uses celebrity breakfast and pancake breakfast style publicity stunts to soften Calvin Coolidge's stiff image. Ooh, what a good idea. Have breakfast with Coolidge and then vote for him for president. Yeah. I kind of like that idea, and now they do that today. I mean, you've heard of that. Buy a plate and sit with the Bushes and pay $2,000 for a plate of food that you probably don't like. In 20.
Yeah, those are what, fundraisers or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. In 1928, he publishes a book called Propaganda. So I guess he wasn't even afraid to talk about his propaganda that he was utilizing against the people, unbeknownst to them.
Well, we didn't know what that word meant back then. Now we do. Now we do. But back then, propaganda. What's that? Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, exactly. Of course, he in 29 he torches a freedom era. He staged media-friendly movement to tying women to smoking to an emancipation imagery. He often cited it as an example of values and identity messaging. We just talked about the smoking thing. And it tells women that they're empowered to smoke. I'm an empowered woman. Remember when all the movie stars would smoke and they would have that big long straw thing and they would have that big long thing. I'm so sophisticated,
My grandma had one of those big cigarette holders. Oh yeah. That was very fashionable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm sophisticated. Well, everybody wants that. Look, you just get a cigarette.
Oh, it looks cool. I mean, all the rich girls are doing it. So, we got to do it too. I mean, It's all propaganda. It's all advertising, some good advert firm, marketing, as we call it nowadays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
1930, we just talked about a little bit about this. A soap. This was back in the 30s, people. They were doing this in the 30s. Soap sculpture becomes a national spectacle. Time calls it a clever advertising scheme executed by none other than Bernays, Bernays, and with exhibitions, prizes, and respectable juries, turning soap into culture news. So we took a bar of soap, we carved something on it, and made it great. Like you said, I wonder how many bars of soap they went through. Like, I made a mistake. I need another one. I suppose soap back then was really cheap, 2 cents a bar or something,
Yeah, but still, they didn't have much money though. So But hey, I'm assuming that the price was good. So
I'm going to give you a one-liner. Well, if you make a mistake, you can just always use it to wash up.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You're not going to throw it away. Hopefully, you'll just use it. But yeah. Either way, you've bought a lot of Ivory soap now, didn't you? So there you go.
Yeah, that's right. In 1940s and 50s, he expands the PR as management function. How about that? So anyway, and then in 55, he edits The Engineering of Consent. Man, I got to read some of these books. It's a book on how consent gets built. A collection that leans into research, planning, targeting, publics and organizing groups. Now, see, I always knew that they have like a think tank every time, we do something or buy something. I swear they sat a bunch of people down and said, let's think about this. Let's come up with an idea and figure out how we can manipulate people into buying this, liking this, spreading this, using this, even if it's stupid crap.
Oh, there's a whole pile of psychiatrists and you name it, of people who, in the think tank that are coming up with this, like fashion itself. Every year, it's a different hemline, or the pants are different. You know what I mean? Like one year it's bell bottoms, and then it's skinny jeans, and you can't have the same every year because you're not going to sell any clothes. So you got to come up with, a new fashion every year.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Yeah. Because this year, I remember, the one was a movie. Oh, it's Gilligan's Island, Return or from the Island or something, Rescue or something. And Skipper goes, "Oh, Gilligan, we missed out on this." And he says the skirts went from here to there, and now they're back down to here. And I just laughed because I thought, oh yeah, how like people go to these the what do you call it, store, the St. Vinny stores, and they'll buy old stuff that Grandma Jones is selling throughout, and here it is at the store, it's 50 years old, but hey, guess what, those lowrider jeans are now back in style.
I was gonna say, if you wait long enough, it'll come back into fashion. I'm old enough now that I'm seeing things come again. It's kind of funny. Yeah.
But see, they also can how do I want to say that, they also turned it around that you're not like the movement. I think you're in no, maybe there's other people are into it, about throwing away stuff. Like if you haven't used it in 2 years, throw it away, do something with
minimalist.
it. Minimalist, yes.
Minimalist,
Well, how can we sell more stuff? Well, if you become a minimalist, well, you have that thing for 2 years, you throw it out, and it comes back in style. You have to go buy it again. See, I get you both ways. You threw it away. You bought it for big money. You threw it away for nothing. Then you went and bought it again.
If you haven't used it, I mean, if like I'm going to be moving in, in a couple of years, and I know I'm going to be probably getting rid of like 70% of what I got. And a lot of it, I mean, I've been here almost 13 years now, and a lot of the stuff sitting there has been sitting there for that whole time. I've never even used it. You know what I mean? But we won't throw it away because, what if I might need it, down the road, but you'd never do. And so that's what that thing is about. They say a year, actually, if you haven't used it in a year, you get rid of it. But Murphy's Law then will come in, and that's when you're going to need it, you see. And so that's always in the back of our minds. And so we keep, and that Murphy's Law, that's probably another propaganda that were told to us back in the day so that we would exactly hoard it. Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Maybe the hoarding it was the natural state of thing, is to keep what you got and then you don't have to go buy it again, versus, well, I haven't used it in a year, so I throw it away, but then I get to go buy it again and spend more money on it because now it's in style, or now it's the rage, or this is what everybody wants, or maybe the clothes now I'm buying aren't quite the quality of the ones that I bought 20 years ago that I just threw away. And everybody used to wear wool. We'll just go with wool because I'm kind of familiar with that right at this point. Everybody used to wear wool, right? Well, wool is out. We don't need wool anymore. We have synthetics. We have this and we have that. But now, guess what? Wool is making a resurgence. As hey, it's really warm.
I was going to say, depending on where you live, because I'm from Norway and it gets cold there, and wool is about the only fabric that you can get wet and still keep you warm. So we've never said goodbye to the wool there. Like wool socks, it's a must in winter. You have to have wool socks, and a wool sweater. We're still hearing. Huh?
Did you know the people in Norway, they know what they're doing, because did you know that wool is the only fabric when it gets wet, it actually heats up?
Yeah, it keeps
Yeah.
you warm still. So that's the thing. You can still wear that sweater and it's going to keep you warm even if you fell into the lake. So yeah, no,
Hmm.
wool will never go away, I don't think. Unless
Yeah.
you're in warmer climates. And
Hmm.
yes, it's itchy, but you would have to have an undershirt underneath that sweater,
Oh,
obviously,
yeah.
right? So
Yeah, but don't
yeah,
don't you remember back in the back in the day, the 40s and 50s, everybody had wool, but then come the 70s and 80s, and everybody had them big poofy jackets. They were all polyester, and that thin polyester with the big puffy stuff underneath, and
yeah.
the big zipper and stuff, and they looked really bulky and warm, and they were kind of warm, but they were just never great. But they were really light. That jacket the wool jacket's heavy, and the polyester one was really light and thin,
Well,
but
that's the thing, and that's how they sold it to us, right? They
mhm,
convinced us that, oh yeah, you don't want to be wearing that anymore. That's all
yeah,
itchy and it's heavy and expensive.
mhm,
Maybe it's more expensive than the synthetic because obviously wool comes right from an animal, and there's only so
mhm,
many of them. But the synthetic you can probably keep making until your hands drop. You know what I mean? So, and we didn't really know about toxic materials and what the materials were all about, even cotton. We still think of 100% cotton as good, which, it is compared to nylon or, all these
yeah.
other things. But still, we didn't know as much. And so we fell for it, just like the microwave. We fell for that too. Now I've never have a microwave in my house. But back then just didn't know. And so it was marketed to say, oh, well, you don't want to wait 45 minutes for your meal, do you? You have to heat it up and you can just use the microwave, and same with the jacket. Oh, well, that jacket is too heavy, it's whatever. And then, so yeah, it's all great marketing. Yes.
Great. Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
It was great. And right now we're back to wool socks. The rage is that merino wool. And myself, I went back to wool too. I wear merino wool socks, summer, winter, and fall, all year long. All year long. In the summer they keep my feet cool. In the winter they keep my feet warm.
There
And
you go.
and they last so much longer too. When
Mhm.
I bought those cheap white cotton socks in the store, I used to spend $20 to $30 for, a 12 pack or whatever the heck it is. And they would
Mhm.
last a few months or about 3 months, and I'd have to go buy another 12 pack. I've bought these wool socks. I think I got some of them, at least 5 years now, and they still look good. They were
Now, do
good.
you put those in the dryer?
Yeah. Yeah. I put them in the
Oh, you
dryer.
do? Okay. So I was going to say that might be one reason, because wool isn't supposed to be in the dryer. Wool will shrink a big time. You don't want to put your wool sweater in the dryer. It will
Yeah.
shrink on you big time. So it has to be hand washed and hung to dry, which will probably make it last longer than when you keep putting it in the dryer.
Hmm.
That dryer really wrecks your clothes. But again, it's very convenient. It's done in an hour rather than having
Yeah.
to wait, a couple of days. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
so there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, because years ago, everybody hung their clothes outside, and now it's not the cool thing to hang your clothes on a line anymore,
No,
right?
probably most places you're not even allowed, I betcha, to
Yeah.
hang it outside, right? So yeah.
Yeah, remember those old movies,
Yeah.
of New York and stuff, where the lines are hanging from
Everybody
building to
had their
building?
clothes. I know. And now with strata, like if you're in a strata place, I mean, even if you own the place, it's still strata, and you can't even have colored curtains if you wanted to. It has to be uniform. Everything's got to look the same on the outside. Yeah, you would never be able to hang your knickers out, on a strata building. No way. And most places are now. Any condos or townhouses is some sort of strata. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's gotten ridiculous.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So where were we? Oh yeah, that was in 55. Now he lived for a long time. He lived to 103, living behind the blueprint of modern politics and marketing that are still used today. So he died in 1995. Wow, amazing, huh? So this guy was
Yeah.
around for a long time, shaping our reality, and we didn't even know it. Writing these books and putting it out there for other people to figure it out. I mean, you and me both know what it is, but yet we still fall into the trap. It's sad because I know I fall into the trap too, just as much as anybody else. It's I don't know what to do about it. I want this stuff. I think one of his sayings was what was it? People lived in necessity. You live what you needed to live with. Your wants what you wanted, and then he turned it around that you want to live and get all your desires, from what you need to your desires. And who doesn't get the stuff they desire? Oh, I want a new car. Oh, the payments are only 96 months at $500 a month. Well, that's like umpteen years. Are you going to drive that car for 6, 7, 8 years? How long are you going to drive that car?
They're not planning on you doing that. You're going to trade it in a couple of years. You see, it's an endless cycle with that whole car thing. Is a real trap.
Yeah. Well, wait. Even Trump come out just recently. Oh, we're going to have the 50-year mortgage so people can buy a house.
That's already in place here. We already have them here. Or no, 30-year. Is it 30-year? Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, it's getting ridiculous. It's getting to the point now where you're pretty much passing down the mortgage. Yeah, that's what you're going to inherit now is the debt.
Here's son.
Oh, here's son.
I'm going to sign my house over to you. It's only $489 a month payments.
Oh man, I know.
You can live here, which is sad because it's like 50-year mortgage. I mean, you get out of high school, you would have to get your mortgage for your house immediately.
Well, you could never retire. I mean, how are you going to retire with a mortgage?
Well, yeah, 50 years, and you're 20. You're out of school.
Yeah, that's 7 years old. So if you're lucky to move out and buy a house right at 20, right? I mean, most people nowadays, that's not a thing anymore. People are not moving out.
Yeah, they say the average home buyer is between 45 and 50 years old now.
Yeah. So how is that going to work? At 50 year, that's what I mean. So that's no. So which means we're not buying. We're not going to be buying. We're going to rent and we're going to be happy about it.
Well, yeah, you're going to own nothing and be happy. Oh, where have I heard that before? Yeah. Oh,
see how the plan's coming along? Yeah.
Yes. And again, we're all duped into it thinking, but most people, all they care about, like with buying the car. Why do they buy a car? Oh, look, it's shiny. It's got a cool radio and heated seats, and it tells me it's got lane assist, so I don't have to worry about it. It's got a backup camera. It's got this little mirror, and it's really cool. And it's got a fan. It's got power windows. It got really good air conditioning, or really good heat. Oh, I want it. How much is it? Oh, it's only $110,000. Oh, and that's not a lie, because a good Suburban will cost you $90,000. Well, what do you mean? Nina, is there any vehicle out there in the world that's worth $90,000 to $100,000?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
You really think it's worth that, or
worth it? No, but is there? Yes, probably.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. Is that Suburban that costs $90,000? There's even trucks out there, just regular trucks you and me can buy that are $100,000. But is that worth it?
No.
I mean, and how long is it going to take you to pay off $100,000? That's what people used to buy a house for.
I was going to say, I mean, a condominium. When I moved here in the 80s, you can buy a condo in Vancouver for around $100,000. Okay, now you can't, but back then you could. I mean, how will people afford to have either rent or a mortgage and a car loan? I don't understand this. I really don't. We got to get out of that.
Well, if you have a 50-year mortgage, and then that brings down your payments, and then if you have a 96-month loan on your truck, that brings down your payments, and you just don't have to pay as much. So it means you can have more money for other things. And you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah, but that's not what people are doing. What they're doing is just increasing the car loan now, or you have a line of credit, right? Because you're buying all this stuff that we're talking about, but you ain't got the money for it. So you're borrowing money to buy all this stuff, right?
That's because
Yeah.
people don't make that kind of money. Years ago, they said that a person could buy a house and have it paid off in what, 5 or 10 years at the most. 5 or 10 years back in the 60s. A car was like $2,500 for recent, cheap car. You don't want to get expensive ones, going to cost you 4 or 5. But now, that same car is going to cost you 40 or 50, and that same house is going to cost you $200,000 or $300,000, but your income isn't $300,000.
No, I know.
Your makes $300,000. Hey, you, Scotty boy, put on your pants. You got to get $100,000 loan. You got to go to work.
Yeah, I know. I look at my ex's parents. They moved down to close to Vancouver back in the 60s, paid I think $17,000 for their home. Mm-hmm. She sold it back in 1990, so that was a while ago now. Mm-hmm. For I think 450, I think it was back then. Now it's over like $2 million for that house. So how the heck can that happen? Like, what the heck happened exactly?
The questions are, did the house change? Did it
get
bigger?
The house is getting older and older and older and older.
Well, it must have been updated for that kind of price.
Well, I'm sure it must have been
updated with fancier floors, marble tops, a butler installed in the house, a 3-car garage. No,
it's an old house. The kitchen was probably updated. I don't know, when did I meet him? 80s. Yeah, I don't know, probably in the 80s, maybe earlier in the 80s. So, by the time we sold it, it was 90. So, that kitchen was 10, 15 years old. No, it wasn't. No. So,
that's the point. You kind of hit it there. The idea is you got the same exact house with a few updates.
Yeah. Well, my kid right now is living in a house with $1 million mortgage. We paid, this is 1990. We paid $150,000 for that house. Brand spanking new. Mm-hmm. It was unfinished basement mind you, but still, now it's going for $1 million. How is that?
It's the same house.
Same house, except now it's way older.
I tell you what, I bought this pen. Remember I was telling you about this pen?
Yeah.
I bought this pen for $100. Now it's older. It's been used. The ink's about half gone.
How much do you think you can get for it now?
I think I can get $500 or $600 for it now.
What?
I think if it's like if
that's not how it works. You know what? You're probably going to get $10 for that thing now. Because it's used, right?
Yeah, but if it works like a house, I should be able to get $500.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, what happened here? Who can we blame for this? What is going on here? Why is that? Like, who made up the rules here? We need to revise this.
And I think the thing is it's all set up like this guy did. He's not selling the house. He's selling the idea of living in that neighborhood, selling the idea of living in that state or that place, the area around it, the people around it. Whoever's selling those houses for $1 million is making the people who are paying the $1 million, it's worthwhile buying it for the $1 million. It's got whatever you need for that $1 million. It'll make you a better person, better health, better something that you will be convinced, because you are the purchaser, to pay $1 million. That's the whole point. How do you get $1 million for a house like that? Is convincing the person to give you that and make the payments and all this other stuff, because otherwise it'd be just like this pen. I think you should give me $500 because it's the best pen in the world. I've used it for a while. Or you're going to look at me and you're going to really, as the buyer nowadays, you should be saying that's a bull crap situation. That's worth $10, like you said, right off the bat. Your instinct is to say that pen is worth $10.
Yeah, like, you know what it is? It's the bankers. Obviously, it's the bankers, because it doesn't matter what condition your house is in. They're going to value the property, you see, the land that it's sitting on at whatever, so that they can then charge you more in taxes. Because even though you own the home, oh no, you don't really own the home, because you still got to pay the property tax. And if you don't, they'll take it from you. So even though you've been spending 30 years paying this thing off, and this is what's happening to seniors here. They've spent their whole lives, paying off their mortgage. Now they're retired, but now the house is assessed at $1 million, which they only paid $100,000 for. You know what I mean? And they can't afford to pay the property taxes now. So now they're getting squeezed out of their own homes because of that. And so this is what it is. It has nothing to do with how much it's worth or whatever. It's just numbers that they're adding on there so they can charge you more tax. More tax. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. So the city is the township, city, whatever is in on it because they're saying, we can get more taxes, and then the banks are in it because they know that. Well, if you got a 50 more year mortgage, you'll never pay it off, and you'll probably die, and we'll get the house
will
back.
End up with it eventually, probably.
Yeah, and then we'll sell it to somebody else.
He doesn't mind because he's getting a bigger commission, and so on and so on and so forth. Nobody cares about us,
No.
We're
it's the working public. So there's no good way to look at it, and they do that with store shelf.
Why that pen isn't going up in value is because they don't have property tax on it. If it had property tax on it, I bet you they would value it up a lot higher. There would be $500-600 worth now because they can charge more tax. But because there is no such thing on that, the value goes down. Same with the car. The value goes down. As soon as you drive it off that lot, you've lost $2,000-$5,000 already. So
yeah. And it never goes up. It goes down, down, down until it ends up on Facebook Marketplace for that $100,000 truck 10, 15, 20 years later, and now it's a $10,000 beater truck. And or maybe less. And you're thinking, wow, I'm broke and poor. I'm going to buy that truck. But you know what? They even figured that out now. They know how long these vehicles last, and they've tailored the motors and the mechanics of working parts of the truck to only last so long. And then the truck literally falls apart when it hits that certain year mark. And then by using what they use, plastics, they use cheap parts, lower tolerances, emissions, all these things to make your car last less. Half your car is made up of plastic, and or it rusts. You've ever noticed how fast a car rusts? It's like, wow, I got a little salt on. Next thing you know, whole things fall apart. And you're thinking, well, how can that be? Oh, we'll just use a little bit inferior metal. It'll rust faster. And after about 10 or 15 years, when somebody has it paid off, they can't sell it to a second person because now it's a junker. The motor's shot, the thing's rusted, and it's in the junkyard. And that guy that's so poor, guess what? He has to move to a 15-minute city because there is no used vehicle to buy.
Oh, boy. Yeah. It's almost like they got it all figured out, eh?
Oh, I know. It's like they're all collaborating. They all got this guy's book. They've read it over. They've had people study it. And now they're saying, listen, we can make this work for us. So anyway, so let's talk a little bit about his book. He wrote this, what is it called? Crystallizing Public Opinion, way back in 1923. He talks about PR isn't just send info, it's make events and news. He leans on humans' instincts, pugnancy, and the public's tendency to pick teams. Oh man, anybody who picks teams? Well, isn't that Super Bowl coming up here, and everybody's picking teams, and it's my team to win, and my team.
Isn't that this weekend? Aren't they watching it right now? Yeah.
I think so. But I just kind of laughed because I was like, I didn't even know it until I went to the grocery store, and they're like Super Bowl, and I'm thinking,
bread and circus. Give them bread and circus. Same thing.
Yeah. My team wins. They go to Disney World. Maybe I should go to Disney World. My team won. Or better yet, my team drives Fords. Oh no, your team drives Chevys. I ain't buying a Chevy. Your team drives a Chevy. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, during political things, they turn one family against another. I'm a Democrat. Years ago, it was like, oh, you're a Democrat, I'm a Republican. No big deal. Everybody is fine. But then again, somebody must have realized that's a team. And you got to know which team to be on. If you're on the wrong side, you're a worthless piece of crap. You should be in, well, like they're saying today, if you're that team, you should go to jail, and stay there. And the other team's saying, well, if it's your team, well, you should also go to jail, or you should do this or that, or shouldn't be allowed to speak.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if this guy was part of the whole two-party system, of competing with the red and the blue. I mean, the red and the blue against each other is everywhere. Political parties, you got your Coke and Pepsi. I mean, it's all just red or blue. We think we have a choice, but not really, because they own it all. So it doesn't matter if you drink Coke or Pepsi. It's the same shit and the same owners, So, and same with the political. It doesn't matter who you vote for. You're going to get the. So I wonder if this guy started that whole thing. It'll be interesting. Yeah.
Well, if he was going to invest, if I was a betting man, I would tell you that he was investing in both sides. He didn't probably care who won, as long as somebody was winning and somebody was losing, and that there was two sides competing, because that's what really matters. Everything else
they own it all. That's right. They own both teams. The same with war. It's the same people that are invested in both. It doesn't matter to them who wins, okay, whether it's war or a baseball game. You know what I mean? They own it all. They just want your money for your tickets, your hot dog sales, everything else that goes along with that whole spectacle. They're just more money, more money. Yeah. And we fall for it.
Exactly. Let's see, what else is there? Then he wrote this book in 1928. It was called Propaganda. Boy, he really hid that title, didn't he? I mean, it's just too funny.
Sounds like he's the father of propaganda.
Yeah, exactly. And this, what is this about? This is a money book for your. He argues coldly that the modern society runs on managed perception. The famous line phrased here, he says, the conscious and intelligent manipulation of the masses is a major feature of the democratic society, and that hidden influencers, I'm going to re-say that again, because we have those on social media by the tons now, shape what people think and do. And you see that all over YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, all of these hidden influencers. Oh, this is the best power bank ever. Oh, buy this food, this dehydrated, reconstituted, freeze-dried food. It's the best in the last 25 years. Oh, it tastes so good. Just making my mouth dribble thinking of it. Buy this little gizmo because it's the best. I use it all the time. I guarantee it. Oh, I have constipation.
No, I know. Like social media.
So good.
Social media isn't as social anymore. It's just ads. Ad after ad after ad. And they know what you like. They notice when you stop and look at something, and you'll get more of that. So for me, it's all the women's stuff. And it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, and you do fall for it.
Yeah. We'll get rid of these wrinkles. Just get this laser.
Oh, I know. I get the latest mask, this and that. Oh,
it's only $2,000.
Oh, it's insane.
We'll set you up with 96 payments of $14.95 a piece. Remember when you could get those? You'd watch TV and they had the 3 channels, and you buy this Dolby record with, it comes with the 8-track tape or whatever for $19.95 with all of the Doobie Brothers' greatest hits. Don't you remember that? or the Ronco,
Yeah, yeah.
fishing lure thing, pocket fisherman. Oh, who
I
doesn't
remember,
remember?
what I remember is getting this stuff in the mail, like CD subscription or book
Yeah.
subscription, all these things. And you sign, but if you sign, you get free stuff or whatever. And then next thing you know, now we got this stuff coming in the mail every month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember doing that once, because I was dumb. And you get, 15 free cassette tapes
Right.
for a penny. And then after that, well, they send you one a month
Yeah.
for a
Or
double
20
basically of what you
or
could get it
whatever.
in the store. It was, you get in the store for $10, but through them it was $19.95. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, after so many years, they got their 10 free ones back and then some.
They made money, yeah, because most people forget about these subscriptions,
Yeah.
So, but nowadays it's even worse. I've seen
Yeah.
they got apps now to catch all your subscriptions that you've forgotten about. To me, how can you forget about? Like, to me, like, I got a plan. I know exactly when I'm going to cancel. Like, I'll never have anything like that. But I guess a lot of people, with the credit cards and whatever, they don't even notice that 5, 10, 20 coming out here and there, and they don't even notice it.
Well, yeah, but a
but
lot of things that you're subscribed to nowadays are nothingness things, an app. Oh, I bought this app. Well, it's on your phone, or maybe you don't use the app anymore.
Right, so that's $5 charge every month there, or whatever it is, and then you might be on Patreon. How many Patreons have you signed up to that you've forgotten all about? Or other subscriptions everywhere, right? And even like the Netflix and all of these, a lot of people are signed up to all of them. For me, like, you guys got to start getting more frugal, man. Like, I maybe I got more time on my hands, but like, I do one at a time. Like, you can only watch one at a time. Why would I pay for two if I'm only going to watch one? You know what I mean? So I'll binge watch one, and then now all of a sudden you don't have nothing to watch. Now you cancel that one, go over to the next one, binge watch all. You know what I mean? So there's ways of saving money here, people, but you got to have more control over your spending and your finances, I guess.
But you did it. You got a good one there, like Netflix. Oh, I got Netflix. But then the question is, do you really have the time to watch it to the full extent of what you're paying for it?
I do. Yes, I do. But I hear you. I do, but that's my entertainment. I don't go out to the baseball games. I don't go out party, the bars, and all this kind of stuff that other people do. I sit at home and watch Netflix. Okay, so that is my only entertainment, and it's only $9 a month, so I can afford that. And I binge watch until the point where I got nothing else to watch. Now I might cancel that and go over to the next one. That's kind of what I'm going to do. But there's so many of them. So if you sign up for all of it, I mean, my gosh, that's going to be $100 a month right there.
But just think of it this way. You got the average guy who goes to work, 10 or 12 hours a day. He comes home, he's got maybe 2 hours. And then on a weekend, he's got, another 2 or 3 hours that he's not doing everything else.
I get you. I got you. And I was like that when I was working, to be honest with you. Netflix it started at $10 and then it crept up. I think I was at $20, like the maximum thing, $20. And I was at that for years. And a lot of times I wasn't watching it at all. I was just watching YouTube most of the time. But I was working and I had more money then. So also $20 to Netflix.
There you go.
So they got me. But now that I'm more frugal now, because I'm on a pension now, so you have to watch your dollars now. But so they got you. Yeah, so that was me for quite a while, and I'm sure that's probably most people. Sign up.
But that's what I'm saying is you, I'm working, I got the money, so I pay $20 and then, you know what, they got this new show everybody at work is talking about, but that's on another subscription service, so I got that too. And it's only $10,
I know.
Yeah, I could afford it, and next thing you know, you got 3 or 4 of them and you're paying on them. And then one day you sit down and you realize, wow, I'm paying out $60 or $70 a month. Like when the satellite or cable came out, and it's like, the dish. And the next thing you know, you're paying $100 a month for channels. There's 200 channels you're getting. Well, yeah, but 100 of them just play music. Another 50 of them are all sports. And so you got like 50 channels, maybe. And there you go.
We're all guilty of it,
But
they have apps now that you can download that will track it all. But then it makes me wonder, like, okay, so you must give this app all your personal information in order for it to go in and find all that. So that's where I'm thinking Robert might be. Are you frozen up? There you are. Okay, thank God.
Okay. So anyway, we got to get through these books here. And here's another one: Public Relations. This was in 1945, and the best edition is in 1952. But here he talks. He tries to professionalize it. This is getting into the social media stuff. PR is present as a continuing process of social integration and adjusting private and public interest. And wow, so there you go. It's adjusting the way people think of things, adjusting private and public interest. Just think on that one for a little bit. Holy cow. And this was back in the 50s. And that's when things really started to change, didn't they?
Well,
or at least we believe they did.
Television came into our living rooms. That's when everything changed. That's what we need to go back and remove.
It's howdy doody time.
That's what we need to remove. That destroyed, I would say, our society as it is right now. Like it's the culprit.
Absolutely. Then here's Bernays' playbook. Don't sell the thing, sell the meaning. He sells identity and values first, and then products second. Just like we were talking about the hairnets, for safety and sanitation. The cigarettes, torches of freedom. That's why you buy cigarettes, because it's like a rebellion against the world. I'm rebellious. He didn't, he didn't sell the product. He sold the permission to use the product. Wow. If we could only sell, if you could sell that, Nina, you could sell your spray stuff for your whatever it is that what is it called? What do you sell in that spray stuff?
White light clearing spray.
Now,
yes.
Let's just take that for instance. Let's just spend a second or two on that. White light. People, you need the white light. It will clear everything. It's for your benefit. If you have this, you'll be up with everybody else. All the real rich people in Hollywood use this white light. They have special subscriptions to Nina to get this white light. How do you think she stays in business? Now, you know what? If you get it, you could be just like them in Hollywood. It would be great. You too could have the white light product in your own house, like Hollywood people do. See what I mean? Now, who doesn't want that?
Well, there you go. So email me, people. Actually, this is a perfect time of the year to start clearing out, but that's not what this show is about. But it's all marketing.
Of clearing out, guess what we're clearing out? Beyond belief. We got a new shirt and a new logo. Go get yours.
Yeah, we're not announcing that yet, but I mean, go and check it out if you want to. The link is down below.
All over the internet.
Not really. No, I haven't announced anything yet. But you'll see actually on my name here that my YouTube name has changed now. It's at Beyond Truth 33 because you have to have numbers. They won't just let you have a name now, so you have to have a number. So that is my new YouTube handle. Okay, everything else is the same for now. I haven't decided whether I want to rebrand all the other ones as well, like the Facebook and the Instagram, but the YouTube has been changed. But other than that, you'll have to wait for the official announcements of everything. But yeah, it's coming.
Oh yeah. Well, in the meantime, I don't care. We're gonna have David Null, Hawkeye Two Feathers, and me for Robert V. And get your mug today, because you know what? All the rich celebrities get them. I tell you, the president of the United States wants one of these, but he hasn't been able to get his hands on one yet. So you can get yours today. Just like I'm trying to imitate the thing here. You need it because you don't have it. That's why you got to have it.
Yep. Gotta have it. That's right. Must have.
Anyway, last but not least, Bernays says borrow authority. Experts, committees, and institutions. Now you need this cup because experts say that this cup holds more than the other coffee cup that Nina used to sell. That's what the authorities say. the experts have determined that this is the better coffee cup.
There you go. More is better.
And that's right. It says create news instead of buying ads. And so that is how we're going to wrap this up. But create news, and you've heard these things. No, or a bad news is still news, and that's how they say, well, well, it looks really bad, but you know what? He's still in the news, no matter good, bad, or otherwise. He's all over the place. Remember when Trump was trying to get elected the first time, and it was just headline after headline? He didn't even need to put up ads. His name was plastered everywhere in every headline, making news, this, that, and the other. I remember saying that to somebody. Yep. I'm like, he doesn't need to advertise because he's everywhere. At every talk show, everything, everybody, every news channel is covering Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He played us. He played us all.
Oh, big time.
To get in there, he didn't need to advertise. He was having us do it for him. And, so there you go. He is the master. Mo to the Trump. He probably followed this book. So go get your Edward Bernays books today. So, Nina, any last words for our closing show that you want to propagandize the public out there before we shove off the ship off the shore and sail away?
Yeah, well, I guess, I just mentioned that my channel name has changed. It's Beyond Truth now, 33 for the handle. But yeah, tomorrow we're going to be talking about Molt Book. This is the new AI app thingy that's made for AI, not for humans. Now, when I scheduled it, we were going one direction, but since then, there's been some new things coming out about this Molt Book that we're going to touch about tomorrow. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe and join us up in the live chats.
Yes, absolutely. And with that, everybody, remember to go out. Don't let yourself be taken by propaganda and sold by stuff that you really don't need, that you just desire. Do you really need it, or do you desire it? Here, I'll sell you this pen. 500 bucks. Hit me up in the email down below. And with that, everybody, love you all. Just go out, hug somebody, smile at somebody. And, just be a wonderful person to everybody around you, because be the frequency you want to receive, everyone. Love you all. Peace, everybody.